Clippers went on a little skid there.
They did.
And
then when he came back,
they started popping again.
Okay. Because it's more than his actual number, Skip. It's his on-the-court demeanor, in locker room, timeout. Like, he holds them accountable, which I think he can bring to Denver.
Okay. But the point is, the Clippers just said no to him, which shocked me. The Clippers.
So they're going in a different direction.
Yeah,
but he opted.
They said no to Paul George.
It's $4 million for Russell Westbrook. I get Paul George because now you're going to go up in the 50 range.
But you know, those numbers you just ran off, that's probably in the marketplace, that's probably a $15 to $20 million guy.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. He was a bargain for the Clippers. You don't think they could use him as a backup point guard?
Listen, I don't know what
and they opted for Chris Dunn.
They tried to go young.
Okay, Chris Dunn is now 30 years of age. He was once upon a time the 5th overall pick in the draft out of Providence in 2016. In his second year when he was with the Bulls, he averaged 13, 4, and 6. And then for Utah last year, he was 5, 3, and 4. And that's what...
It sounds like they got worse.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, you're going to replace Russell Westbrook with Chris Dunn? Really?
Maybe Russ didn't want to be there.
Why? But he loves L.A. He's from L.A.
Yeah, he's from L.A. He loves L.A. He probably didn't want to be there.
Play more, probably look at
Maybe it was something with playing with Kawhi or James Harden or something.
Both L.A. guys?
Yeah, but I'm just saying maybe it didn't work out. It don't matter, you guys, L.A. guys. Maybe just the locker room didn't feel right to him. He just didn't. It had to be something because I'm like, damn, I'm at the end of my career pretty much. I might as well just stay home, lay it down for the last couple of years, come off the bench and just enjoy my family, enjoy my businesses and all of that. But you know what? I'd rather go to Denver or somewhere else for an opportunity to win a championship. So this is telling me maybe it could have been something in that locker room he wasn't feeling.
That's the only thing that he doesn't have is a championship. Who has a better chance to win one?
Oh.
The healthy Denvers,
no doubt.
Nuggets or the healthy Clippers?
Okay. Yeah. I caution Joker, be careful what you wish for. And it makes me wonder, would Joker have called LeBron or AD to say what didn't work? You know, why didn't it work? I doubt it. I don't know if they have that kind of relationship. Would Joker have asked LeBron or AD, you know, around the warm-ups at the Team USA game?
I can't go based on the way somebody else feels about an individual. I got to go based on how I'm dealing with that person. Whether it's Joker, Murray, the coach, whoever, Porter Jr., whoever it is that are in contact communication with Westbrook, that's what's important. What LeBron is saying and what AD says and what Darvin that doesn't mean anything to me.
Okay.
What are you going to be like in our building?
Yeah, but just for the record, LeBron, I know for a fact, so did AD. They campaigned to go get Russ, and then after about half a year, they were campaigning to get rid of Russ. And it took a year and a half to get rid of him.
Well, they campaigned silently to get rid of the coach, so...
They did. Okay, so think about this. For 4 out of 5 years, from 2017 through 2021, Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double. 4 out of 5 years. It's impossible. I never thought I'd see one more since Oscar did it in '63, right? And he averages 26, 11, and 11 over those 4 seasons combined. 26, 11. It's just crazy numbers. Man. He also averaged 5 turnovers. And in 2 of those years, he led the NBA in turnovers. Because this is just me. Russell Westbrook has the worst pair of hands of any point guard I've ever seen because I don't think he was ever a natural-born point guard. He hustles for the triple-doubles. You know, he works for it. He exerts for it. He fights for it. He out-scraps you for it, for loose rebounds. And with assists, he finally figured out after KD left him high and low and dry in Oklahoma City, he figured out, if I drive it and 2 come with me, all I got to do is just leave it on the floor for Steven Adams, and he can dunk it, and I get a 1. You know, I get, in the assist column, I get a 1. Yeah. And they start piling up if you do that enough. But when he tries to make passes, as we saw at the Lakers, it just gets wild. Balls are flying everywhere.
The Lakers thing just didn't work,
Look at this, though. Look what you said, all these deficiencies that Russ has. He's not really a natural-born scorer. Would you say that? Like, I mean,
well, he's not a shooter.
He's not a shooter, but like, would you say just a natural scorer? But he's averaged 30. He's not a natural passer, but he's averaged 11 assists.
Okay. And by the way,
Like,
he,
what
he
is
is
it then?
a slam dunk first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
So what are you saying? I mean, is it his will? Is he just one of the greatest athletes we've ever seen?
He's got that going for sure.
Like, you know,
but
what
his,
is it?
His will has never lifted the team. He can lift himself without lifting the team. Because I'm looking at those.
No,
teams.
his will lifted that series when they played. Was it the Clippers? That was all his will versus Chris Paul. If you remember
which year?
that series when OKC beat the Clippers,
Okay, CB. But
or that matchup, it was a matchup versus them, and I remember his
when
will,
Chris was in
he was
in OKC. And are you talking about when Russ went to James?
Russ was in OKC,
Okay.
and Chris Paul was with the Clippers.
Oh, Chris
You got to
Paul's
go back to that series.
Okay.
That was one of the career-defining series.
Okay.
But it's hard though, Skip, to lift up the Washington Wizards.
It was.
It's hard to lift up
The Wizards.
Houston, where two dudes didn't even want to be there.
Yeah.
You know, James didn't want to be there. Brook didn't want to be there.
Yeah. So I'm looking at his teams 2017, 18, 19. These are Oklahoma City. They go 47, 35, 48, 34, 40.
Like the year after KD left, he uplifted that team because I didn't think that team was even a playoff.
It was all
team.
by itself.
Yeah, I didn't even think that was a playoff. That was his MVP year. I didn't even think
right.
that team was a playoff team.
Okay. So help me out. What slam dunk first ballot Hall of Famer bounced to 6 teams? It just doesn't happen. I know Shaq at the end of his career bounced
But
a little
Shaq
bit.
was chilling, though.
Yeah, he was definitely chilling.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's like Chris Paul,
How far?
New Orleans,
Mm-hmm.
Clippers, Phoenix, Golden State,
Antonio.
Spurs. That's 5.
Close.
Oh, did you say OKC?
Okay, so that's 6.
Yeah, they got swapped to OKC
That's 6.
because they had
Slam
to move.
dunk Hall of
Yeah.
Famer.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know if that
16.
counted. He was actually with the same team, but they moved cities, right?
No.
He went to
OKC.
OKC
He
with
was
Shea
with
Gilgeous a
OKC.
couple
With Shea
years
Gilgeous,
ago.
remember?
That was 2 years
with
ago.
him 2 years ago.
Yeah, when he
years
had him
ago.
cooking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what I know for sure, that Kevin Durant decided, I just can't win with him as my point guard. I know that for a fact. So then Paul George is there briefly and decides, I'd much rather be with Kawhi. So he left Russ, you know, and you guys say, well, you got to discount that. But then he goes to James, and you said James just didn't want to be there. But James seemed pretty happy with Russ to start with.
No, but remember, he didn't want to. He didn't even sign his extension for the $150 million
Yeah.
before going. He just
Okay.
didn't want to be, for whatever weird reason, he didn't want to be at Houston.
Okay. Then he goes Bradley Beal, and it just doesn't work. And you can say, well, they just weren't good enough. And I'll give you that. But then,
Is Bradley Beal even healthy?
Nope.
well, he hasn't been healthy much. So then the shock to me is he comes to the Clippers. Well, we do Lakers first, and then LeBron and AD say no. After they say yes, then they say no. But they say no
But
to
when
a
you
lot
say
of
it
things,
hasn't
people.
worked out, what do you mean? Because I thought Houston was legit. I thought OKC was legit with, yeah, they lost to Utah in the first round. They probably shouldn't
That
have
was
lost
with
that.
Paul
but
George.
with Paul George, but you forget Paul George didn't step up either, and
He did
Russ
not.
did. And Russ stepped up.
He did step up. I
You
give
know what I'm
that.
saying? So what
Yeah.
is it? I don't think he's getting enough credit of being on teams that you feel like should have did something.
Okay.
Well, like I said, he first of all, he hasn't been on any good teams. Really, honestly, think about it. What teams have he been on that was good other than his OKC team?
The first one was really
When they went to the
good.
championship.
They did.
All them other teams
they-
he bounced into, them teams wasn't good.
Yeah.
And then do you blame Russ for them not getting past Golden State after being up 3-1? Is that on him or KD? Who's it on that? You feel me? So, you know, he's never been on a team.
And
like
to answer your question before you go pay these bills, Skip, why would he be moved to 6 different teams
Yeah.
or whatever? Because he has value. And coaches see that, and front office people see it. Because if you didn't have the value, you'd be talking about going overseas to play.
Yep.
That's the reality of it.
But a first ballot Hall of Famer is now playing for $3.3 million in Denver. And it's a great opportunity for him, but they're doing it because he's really cheap, right?
Joking and made.
It's a
Lord
low
knows
risk.
how much money.
And he could be a starter again. Mark my words, he's going to be starting for Denver.
Okay. And mark my words, it won't work.
What's working? What does it mean work? They got to win it all.
They'll just decide we can't win with him as our primary decision maker.
So
at
in the
point
middle,
guard,
so
'cause
you're
he's not-
saying you're
that's
going
not
on
his
record right
gift.
now saying they're going to trade him in the middle of the season.
No, because he'll be untradeable. By then.
No.
Well, he's going to be 36 years old in year 17. I mean, at some point, in fact, when the Clippers took him, it felt like he was about done, like nobody wanted
They
him.
rejuvenated him.
Yeah. And yet, I still can't believe the Clippers gave up on him. I just get that was a home, a literal
I don't
home.
know if they gave up on him, but I don't know the story, Skip.
I know, but well, they moved him.
Well, they didn't.
For nothing.
They didn't sign Paul George either, so I'm not sure what's going on in Clipperland.
Okay, so what are you saying? They've just given up, or they're trying to lose, or what?
No, they're not trying to lose,
Yeah.
but they just
Don't know what they're doing. Let's say that.
They looking at their pockets right now.
Really?
I don't know.
They
That's
got
all I can
the
come up
owner
with.
with the deepest pockets is looking at their pockets
Yeah.
as they
Those
go
are
into a
usually-
new
Those
arena.
are usually the shrewdest businessmen,
Really?
the ones with the deepest pockets.
Okay, interesting. I don't know.
I don't know
Well, let's go from old to young, from 36 to 19.
either. Okay, Bronny.
Ronnie is starting to look like a player.